All right, number 3 on page 145. Find dy dx by implicit differentiation. X to the 1/2 plus y to the 1/2 equals 16. So we're going to derive all the pieces here. So derivative of x to the 1/2 would be 1/2 x to the negative 1/2. Power rule. Kind of the same thing for y to the 1/2. 1/2 y to the negative 1/2. But anytime you're taking a derivative that involves y, you've got to chain rule that onto dy dx. So that was the big thing from Friday. Whenever y shows up and you're taking a derivative, use the same rules, but don't forget to chain rule it to dy dx. And then derivative of 16 is 0. The calculus part of this problem is over, but we don't have dy dx by itself yet. So 1/2 y to the negative 1/2 dy dx equals negative 1/2 x to the negative 1/2. I mean, I'm just moving things around. I think I would multiply by 2 so I don't have the fractions anymore, so all the fractions will go away. So I'll have negative x to the negative 1/2 divided by y to the negative 1/2. And that would be a perfectly good safe stop answer. Calc chat wouldn't stop there. Multiple choice probably wouldn't stop there, because we could clean up the negative exponents. Put it to the, if it has a negative exponent, it flips over to the other side. So that might be an algebra step. If we were really getting creative, you could go square root of y over x, because 1/2 is the same thing as a square root. So that's probably the multiple choice answer. But you could have stopped back here if it's a free response answer. And our tests are going to continue to look like the two that you've had, where it's like half free response and half multiple choice. And again, multiple choice answer is going to be algebra cleanup work. Free response answer, you can leave stuff like that. I mean, you can even leave 3 plus 4. Leave it. Some of you on that test that you just got back, I made a note of, hey, you should have left it here, because if this is right and then you tell me that that's 8, well, then you're going to lose 2 points, but you could have stopped here. Now, hopefully no one's going to mess that one up. But on some of the more complicated algebra stuff, like, don't clean it up unless you have to for multiple choice. Leave it as that, if it's your choice to. All right, other questions from 146? Number 7. X cubed y cubed minus y equals x. I see product rule right away. And maybe we could product rule on the fly, but since we're just learning this implicit stuff, I'm going to slow down and kind of spread it out a little bit. So f prime would be 3x squared. G prime, what's G prime going to be?
3y squared.
Yeah, so 3y squared, but also dy dx. So putting the pieces together. First times derivative of the second. Again, if you need to like physically connect them, then by all means do that. So 3x cubed y squared dy dx. Although that's the first part of the first term. Plus the other way, 3x squared y cubed. Again, that became all of this because of the product rule. Minus, I think it's a little easier now, dy dx equals 1. Calculus is over. Now the algebra begins. This is not a safe stop answer though, because we haven't solved for dy dx. So I mean, you gotta do some algebra. Let's see, speaking of algebra, I'm going to move this term over because it doesn't have any dy dx's in it. And then I'll factor out dy dx from the stuff that's left. 3x cubed y squared minus 1. Right, so kind of a placeholder 1 there, so that when I distribute dy dx, I get my minus dy dx over there. Still not done, not even a safe stop yet, because I have to get dy dx by itself. So I'll divide everybody by 3x cubed y squared minus 1. It's my safe stop answer. I suspect it's my multiple choice answer as well, because it doesn't look like there's any factoring out or anything you could do. All right, let's move on to the worksheet because it's going to be more of the same stuff.